I'm giving you an introduction.
Okay, hello everyone.
No, I'll just give you an introduction and then you know.
All right. Okay, go ahead then.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Prashant Ajmera. I'm an immigration lawyer involved in the global mobilities and cross-border law. Since last few months, we are involved into the European cities on the bridge from India to European Union. And that is very important series we are running because of the free trade agreement signed between European Union and Indian government. And that has increased the interest from the businessmen, professionals between both the continents. And that's why this series are very, very important. Particularly the Cyprus is, I always love it and I like it. And whenever I talk about the Cyprus, I always say that, okay, if you want to go on the west side from in India, then probably you are looking at the Dubai. On the east of the India, you are looking at Singapore. But if you are trying to enter the European Union, Cyprus is your destination. So Cyprus is your headquarter because it has a variety of structures. It's an English speaking, so that itself makes it easy for you to operate your company in Cyprus than compared to the other European countries where you might be facing the language challenges. So in order to give us an information about the Cyprus immigrations and relocations, we have our lawyer friend from Cyprus joining. His name is Martinos Typographos. They always have a long, long name. And I always love it that I cannot pronounce any of them, but this one I can do it. So, Martinos, I know we met each other in 2018, just before the COVID. And since then, we are in a communications. And I think now the timing is right because of the FTA agreement. And that's why we would like to hear from you. And I know that there are a lot of changes were there because the citizenship program was closed down and the other program closed down. But now again, those immigration program has come up. So please give us information about the new programs and particularly also the businessmen who are interested in entering into the European market, how they can use the Cyprus as a jurisdictions to have their European headquarter in Cyprus. Tell us more about it. So you can share your presentation.
Hi, Prashant. Thank you so much for the introduction. As you mentioned, my name is Martinos Typographos. I don't expect you to be able to pronounce that. You can call me Martin instead if it's easier. We are here today to update, introduce some of the programs Cyprus has at the moment. Our firm is Typographos Co Lawyers, and we have been offering legal services in Cyprus since 1973. I'm a second generation lawyer myself, qualified barrister in the UK, and have been practicing in Cyprus since 1999. The topics I will try to cover today is how to establish a company in Cyprus first, and what are the benefits of that company in relation to Indian nationals. In addition to that, by establishing a Cyprus company, you have the added benefit of leading to a Cyprus passport or Cyprus citizenship after 3-4 years. I'll give you all the details on that one. Secondly, we will go over the permanent residency program of Cyprus as it had been revised in the past couple of years. Basically, it's like a golden visa program like you have in countries like Greece or Portugal for that matter. And lastly, we'll deal with a digital nomad program, which most probably all of you know. Requirements on that one are more or less the same as with other countries offering that in the European Union. So I will change the slide and we'll begin with the company details and business immigration program leading to citizenship, if that is okay with you, Prashant.
Okay.
All right, Cyprus. As you probably know, It's a jurisdiction where it has accommodated uh, businessmen from all over the world for the past 30, 40 years. It has evolved into a European Union business hub where you have market access, where you can uh, take advantage of the business immigration programs, and whereby with the correct structuring, you can be tax efficient and accessible to the European Union. Cyprus at a glance. We are, as Prashant mentioned, we are the closest European Union country to the whole of Asia. Cyprus is part of the European Union since 2004 and part of the Eurozone, that is the euro currency, since 2008. The climate, 300, expect 300 days of sunshine, long dry summers, you'll have mild winters, and coastal living. You have international community. 20, 30% of Cyprus are foreign nationals. Indeed, Cypriots are very accommodating to foreign nationals and establishing either living in Cyprus, their kids going to schools, or establishing their business and working with the EU from Cyprus. English is widely spoken in Cyprus. 95% of the business in Cyprus can work in the English language, and more than 95% of all Cypriots speak the English language.
Mm-hmm.
Low crime, politically stable environment with familiar institutions. You have a business hub that has been working for the past 10, 15 years, accommodating forex companies, investment companies, technology companies, gaming companies, shipping, and other companies all around the world that want to have their headquarters in Cyprus. By establishing a company in Cyprus and working from Cyprus, you have an EU member state company. You have a reliable legal system that is based on English common law. Let me remind you, Cyprus was part of the UK until 1960, where Cyprus became republic and is like that from then on. You have a tax efficient jurisdiction that has been there for many years. And there is the additional business immigration route, which we will explain in a bit. Why is Cyprus becoming relevant to Indian? For Indian companies looking west, Cyprus offers a small but credible EU base that can support market entry to the European Union, regional management, withholding and IP structures, and relocation of key people, key personnel for your company. We mentioned the strategic geographic location. We mentioned that the business language and the legal comfort that can provide to Indian nationals being familiar with common law. We mentioned the EU presence. And there is currently, I believe, as also you have mentioned, and with the visits of the Cyprus president to India, the current India-Cyprus momentum. So you have a lot of interest coming from India with regards to Cyprus businesses and Cyprus establishments. Now, how this can work? You have an Indian business founder, okay, establishing a company in Cyprus remotely that can work with the EU. There's no need for the Indian nationals to be present in Cyprus. There's no minimum or maximum requirement for Cyprus shareholding in that company. Any Indian national can have 100% in any Cyprus company, and providing access to the European Union and the MENA region. Companies can be holding, trading, intellectual property companies, or even a company that establishes its regional headquarters in Cyprus for hiring and relocation. The core question always will be, what would be the business activity that will be carried by the Cyprus company? Once that is established, we can then advise on the memorandums, the articles of association of the company, and how the company will do its business from Cyprus to the European Union and all around the world for that matter. What you have, company formation and structuring options. Most Indian businesses may start with a Cyprus private limited company. Indeed, that's the company that is used most widely, 99.9% of the cases. And then the structure should then be adapted to the role of the Cyprus entity. By the role of the Cyprus entity, we mean the business of the Cyprus entity and what they would like to do. You can have a Cyprus operating company, as we mentioned before, a Cyprus holding company, or an intellectual property technology structure company, or any other company that can do any business. The memorandum of the company and the articles of the company are drafted very generally and very widely in order to accommodate a number of businesses for any prospective company. Like with all other companies in the world, you need shareholders, directors, company secretary, a registered office, and then a bank account or an email account. You need annual tax and VAT reviews. Mind you, VAT is done on a quarterly basis, and accounting and annual filings that need to be done in Cyprus. Now, what do you get out of a Cyprus company? 15%, okay, is a corporate income tax from 2026. So basically, 15% tax is imposed on the net income of the company. It's an EU member state and provides access to platforms and for trading and other services. Cyprus has a double tax treaty network with India, along with another 150 and more countries in the world. The most important one is intellectual property tax structuring. For any intellectual property company that owns assets and gains income from those assets, the taxation on that income is only at 3% on gains from those qualifying assets. And this is very important to know. Why is that? Because only 80% of the tax income, of the taxable income of the company, is taxed. That's where you reach the 3% for the intellectual property company. Now, we discussed at the beginning about establishing a Cyprus company leading to immigration and Cyprus passport. For the past 3 years in Cyprus, after you have established a Cyprus company, and if you want to proceed with the business immigration program, you can apply for that company to be registered as a foreign interest company. The requirements are simple. You need to have at least 51% ownership from a non-EU national, basically an Indian national. You need to invest a minimum amount of 200,000 euros in the company. This can be done by capital increase. Capital of the company can be 200,000 euros, and it needs to be paid into the company. This is not throwaway money. This is money that you put in the company and you can use for the investment and the management of the company and the business of the day-to-day business of the company. You need to establish an office in Cyprus, real presence in Cyprus, and you need to have a business plan and show activity in Cyprus. The company does not have to do business only in Cyprus, but can do business all around the world. And the other most important requirement is that for the shareholder of the company to be able to get a work permit, a residence permit in Cyprus, you need to show that they are having an annual salary of a monthly salary of minimum 2,500 euros per month. Right. Now, anyone that is employed in the company with a monthly salary of 2,500 euros can apply for residence and work permit. Shareholders or owners, directors of the company, any other key personnel and specialists that the company needs in order to do their business. In addition to that, every dependent of any employee of the company that applies and successfully gets a work permit, the spouse and children will be eligible to also get a residency permit in Cyprus. Now, this business immigration program differentiates from establishing a company in Cyprus, running the company from India, managing the company without requiring day-to-day presence in Cyprus.
Mhm.
You can establish a Cyprus company, do your business, do your trading with the European Union, do your trading all around the world, and there's no need for you to come and live in Cyprus. However, if you want to take advantage of the business immigration program and you plan ahead in order for you and your family to be able and be eligible to apply for a Cyprus passport within 3 or 4 years, then I would say the easiest way would be to go through the business immigration program, establish a foreign interest company, and apply after 3 or 4 years for Cyprus passport. There are some additional requirements for that, language plus history tests, but they're easy, and for someone that targets that, it's easy to be eligible.
Mhm.
Now, what are the steps? You have a client. We discuss with the client. We have an extensive call. We see what the client wants. We diagnose what the client wants, the business model, the activity, the ownership, and the tax position. We will be able to advise on everything. Initially, on the first stage, we can advise on a free fee basis in order to understand what the client was. Now, once we understand what the client wants and the client decides that they want to go ahead, then we need to pick up all the incorporation documents, establish a Cyprus company, do the register office, secretary, directors, etc. After that, in case you want to apply for the Cyprus Business Immigration Program, then we need to rent an office in Cyprus, establish accounting in Cyprus, establish a bank in Cyprus, and contracts, payroll planning, and all that. Once we do that, we then apply for the foreign interest company, do all the registrations, and provide all the documents that are required. Once we register for the foreign interest company, then we apply for the work permits for the personnel, for the people that will be working for this company. And in addition to that, we also apply for their dependents. Now, what companies? How Cyprus can be relevant to Indian nationals? Technology and SaaS, consulting and professional services, trading and distribution, shipping, energy, and infrastructure services. This list is not exhaustive. As I mentioned before, Cyprus companies and their bylaws are drafted very widely that can accommodate any form of business, any form of entrepreneurship. How is life in Cyprus? Well, you're living in an island. Population at the moment is like 1,000. We are very, very, very small. And I'm saying very, very small. Compared to India, 1.5 billion population, life in Cyprus will be very, very, very different. English speaking business environment. Everyone in Cyprus speaks English, especially businesses. You can discuss, you can send emails, you can make calls, and everyone will come back to you in the English language if this is what you prefer. You have a large number of international schools in all cities of Cyprus, Nicosia, Limassol, Paphos, Larnaca. A large selection, and most of these international schools accommodate international students among the Cypriot students that are attending. You have access to private healthcare options. Only recently, Cyprus introduced the national healthcare system, YESI, which is accessible not only to Cypriot nationals, but also to legal residents of Cyprus. Safe and family oriented lifestyle, short distances. You can travel from east to west in Cyprus 2 hours. It takes you by car, 2.5 hours from the east coast of Aegianaba to Paphos. Doesn't take more than that. From Nicosia to Limassol, Nicosia is the capital. Limassol is business hub of Cyprus. It takes 45 minutes. So basically, you can live in any city you prefer, although working at some other city. I will give some information about personal taxation because it's
That's
one
very
thing.
important.
Yeah, it's very important though, the personal aspect. Yeah. So basically, This will apply for founders and executives that are actually relocating to Cyprus. The personal taxation will not apply to owners of Cyprus companies that they have established the companies in order to do business all around the world. The personal taxation factor only comes into play when you will be relocating in Cyprus. So, a Cyprus tax resident will generally be taxed in Cyprus on the worldwide income. The practical result depends on the type of income, foreign tax position, and treaty position. However, note the following. There's 0% tax for any income up to 22,000 euros annually. From then on, progressive rates that go from 20 to 35%. There is a 50% income tax exceptions for high earners, okay, that can be registered that they have not been Cyprus tax residents for at least 10 to 15 consecutive years immediately prior to their employment. So, for any Indian national that establishes a company in Cyprus, that company becomes a foreign interest company and he comes to Cyprus to work for that company, most probably they would not have been tax residents of Cyprus for the past 10 to 15 years. So basically, they will qualify under the 50% exemption. In addition to that, if you become a non-dom tax resident, the same as with the 50%, you'll have 0% on SDC. I will explain what SDC is later on. Employment, self-employment. You're taxed under the personal income tax band, as we mentioned above, 0% up to 22,000, 20 to 35% progressively above that. You need to pay social insurance, okay? And general health care system may also need to be reviewed depending on the status. Investment income, dividends, interest are usually and generally exempt from income tax and are only taxed on SDC. However, if you're non-dom, if you have a non-dom status, you will not be taxed as with the locals, which is usually 17%. You get foreign tax credits, so where you pay foreign tax in any other country, you may be available to get a credit on that when paying tax in Cyprus. So, how to qualify as a Cyprus tax resident? Remember, you're not, by establishing a Cyprus company, it doesn't necessarily mean that automatically you become a tax resident of Cyprus. No. In order to qualify as a Cyprus tax resident, it's a matter of choice for the individual. So basically, in order to qualify, you need to follow one of two routes. One is the 183-day rule, live in Cyprus for 183 days in a year. Then you will be able to apply, and there are no further ties to Cyprus, and you will become a Cyprus tax resident. And the 60-day rule, where you need to spend at least 60 days in Cyprus, do not spend more than 183 days in any other single country, and maintain a permanent home in Cyprus and have a business in Cyprus. So the 60-day rule should also be easy to satisfy if you establish a company in Cyprus and run the company from Cyprus, provided you don't stay in any other country for more than 183 days. Practical checklist, you need to track the days carefully, secure a real home, be it your own home or a rental home, create Cyprus tie by becoming employed in the company that you have established, and register and file with the tax department. Now, what is a non-dom status and what are the benefits of it? The benefits we explained before. So, non-dom is not an immigration status. It's a Cyprus tax concept for individuals who are Cyprus tax residents but not domiciled in Cyprus for SDC, Special Defense Contribution purposes. SDC is a tax that is imposed in Cyprus on dividends of locals. Upon approval of non-dom status, you will be exempt from the 70% special defense contribution on dividends and passive interest income, while maintaining the flexibility of Cyprus tax residence. These tax advantages last for a maximum of 17 years, after which you are considered deemed domicile. So basically, non-dom status for an Indian national coming to Cyprus, establishing a company at the moment, registering that company as a foreign interest company, coming and living in Cyprus and working for that company, can apply for non-dom status, and they will have exemption from the 17% special defense contribution. They will only be taxed on their personal annual income as received from the Cyprus company and obviously, any other worldwide income. But they will be taxed, as you can see, at 50% of their income, provided they are high earners. The high earners threshold is set at 55,000 euros. Understand? Understood? Now, this is a Q&A I have prepared. Common questions from Indian clients that I think will answer some of the questions that you may have. Is a Cyprus company enough to obtain work permits? No. By establishing a Cyprus company, you will not get the work permit initially. You need to go to the next stage and register the company as a foreign interest company. So the company must fit the relevant criteria of foreign interest company and show, which basically are to show a real commercial reason, the investment of 200,000, office and activity. Can the Cyprus company trade across the EU? Generally, yes. There's no need for the company to become a foreign interest company to trade with the EU. You can establish the Cyprus company, and we will be able to trade with the EU. You will need, at some places, sector-specific licensing, obviously. VAT and regulatory rules must be checked before trading. Usually, trading within EU, there's no VAT between companies that are trading within the EU. Can families relocate? Family members can usually be included under the relevant residence framework, subject to conditions easily met. Spouse of the employee of the Cyprus foreign interest company is also granted access to the employment market to work for any other company in Cyprus, or for the company of her husband for that matter. But they can also apply and get a work permit to work for any other company in Cyprus. Is citizenship after 3-4 years automatic? No. Naturalization is a separate application and will depend on legal residence, language, character, and other statutory criteria. However, they are easily met. What usually causes problems? If you're going for the foreign interest company, then if you have a weak business plan, unclear source of funds that you will inject in the company, that will result that the funds will not be accepted in Cyprus. If you have the foreign interest company and at some point you pass on the real office in Cyprus, and by treating the whole structure we've mentioned about the foreign interest company as a residence shortcut and not as an actual business to do in the European Union. You need to build a real hub in Cyprus and not a paper structure if you're going for the foreign interest company. So what's the suggested action for people that want to establish a Cyprus company? We need to first do the strategy call and diagnose what the client wants: ownership, sector, target market, staffing, family relocation, tax position. Weeks 3 to 5, we establish the company and the initial structure. If the company wants to proceed as a foreign interest company, then we will need some more time for that one. Week 6 to 8, establish the office. If the company is doing foreign interest company, establish the office, the contract, local service providers, and source of funds, a KYC pack. And then the immigration filing route, which can be done when the clients come to Cyprus. Remember, the clients can come with a visit visa in Cyprus 90 days, and everything that needs to be done in Cyprus can be done after that. This is our contact details. We can assist with the company formation. We can assist structuring. foreign interest company registration, residence and work permits, and ongoing corporate management. Basically, work as a one-stop shop to satisfy the needs and requirements of Indian nationals. Prior to deciding, we can always and always apply these. We provide a free of charge evaluation of each client case. We will not be asking for anything from you unless we are sure that what we are proposing for Cyprus can and will work. Prashant, any questions with regard to this?
Yeah. So basically, the foreign company is that I'm coming there doing the business, but I cannot do business within the Cyprus, but I'm doing business with the European Union, right?
You can do business with Cyprus as well. If you
Okay.
establish any company you establish in Cyprus, you can do business in Cyprus and you can do anywhere around the world.
Okay.
It's
So
an
then what's
international company.
yeah. So
The
what
differentiation should be, sorry to interrupt, the differentiation should be you can establish a company in Cyprus like you establish a company in any jurisdiction in the world.
right, right.
In addition to that, you can develop that company if you want into a foreign interest company if you satisfy the requirements of a foreign interest company. And by developing the company into a foreign interest company, any Indian national can come and live and work for that company in Cyprus along with his family.
Okay.
That one, if that is the target, can lead to Cyprus citizenship after 3 or 4 years.
But the
That's the added
investment,
bonus on that.
but so minimum investment amount is about 200,000, right?
200,000 euros in the company. It's not throwaway money. You're not investing on property. You're not investing on in any government bonds or anything else. You
Yeah. So
just
it
put
remains
it.
in your company bank
You
account.
just need to show your commitment that this company will be working and showing your commitment by investing 200,000 euros in the company. It's easy. It's easy to satisfy that criteria. Just transferring 200,000 euros to the bank account of the company. It's done. That's the only thing they need.
Right. So generally, like for the doing the business in Cyprus, I know you mentioned to me once when we were talking that people buy some real estates and do the management of the properties or real estates, and based on that one, they operate the business and then obtain the residencies and eventual citizenship. Is that possible?
That can be done under certain circumstances. Yes, that can also be done.
That also can be done.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So 200,000, I can come and put money in my bank accounts and I get my permit to do the
Mhm.
residency. So it shows my seriousness. It's basically 200,000, not just having a company for a $2,000 or 5,000 euros, but 200,000 is in a
No,
bank.
no. It shows your intention to work for that company and do
Right.
business with that company, be it anywhere in the world or even in Cyprus as well.
Okay. Okay. And the first company is basically just a regular company. And
Yeah. First step is just register a Cyprus company, which is a very simple procedure. It can be done in 1 month.
right. So that I can use it if immigration is not in my plan, but I'm a
Hmm. Hmm.
multinational Indian
Exactly.
company and say that, okay, I want to have my distributions and head office for the Europe in Cyprus and they will do the business. But in that company, can I do the intra-company transfer of bringing my employees from India to like a key people, CEOs or CFOs in that company?
Provided we can show that these employees, because the basic rationale and the basic policy behind it is to show that these employees are needed specifically for the business of that company.
Yeah, so
Then
like I'm
we
talking
can
about
bring
key.
along, yeah, key figures with minimum salary 2,500 euros per month.
Right, yeah. Means basically, like when you have medium-sized companies or big companies is a different story,
Hmm.
but medium-sized company, generally they want to have their own employee or a family members to come and look after that business. So, and that person is already working for an Indian entity, then it can work as well. And
Yeah.
eventually they might think about immigration. Does that convert to immigration or it has to go through the 200,000 route?
Come again? I'm sorry, I didn't get the last question, Prashant.
So the first I'm not done I'm going through my regular process of the
Okay.
just incorporating a company, I'm doing a business, and Indian company has transferred me to Cyprus, and after 2, 3 years, I want to obtain the immigration, or company wants me to help to obtain the immigrations. Is it possible to do it?
Yeah, you need to change. You need to apply for the company to become a foreign interest company.
Okay.
Okay. Once we do that and satisfy the requirements as we have explained before, then you can provide an employment contract to to an individual from India, whereby if they are getting a salary of 2,500 euros per month and they have directorship of that company, it directly satisfies the requirement. And yes, they can come and work in Cyprus for that matter.
Okay. So it can be converted in the
Yeah,
similar
yeah,
line.
yeah.
Okay.
There's no need. There's no need to establish a new company. You can establish a Cyprus company, work from that company for the first 2, 3 years, and then if you decide that you want to go to the next level and register the company as a foreign interest company, you can do so.
Right. Okay. Right. Understood. Okay.
All right. Let's go now. Just bear with me. Wait a second. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Permanent residency of Cyprus. You probably know by now what permanent residency is. A lot of European Union countries have similar products. You have the golden visa of Greece, you have the golden visa of Portugal, and you also have a residency program of Malta and Spain, if I'm not mistaken. For
Mhm.
Cyprus, it's simple program. We've already seen the details of Cyprus, so no need to go over that one. What the regulation seeks to actually is basically you need to make an investment in Cyprus of minimum 300,000 euros, and you, along with your spouse, and any children up to the age of 25 can apply and get the permanent residency of Cyprus. Now, important distinction. This is just a residency program. It's not a citizenship program. It is also very, very important to mention that at the moment, Cyprus is not a member of the Schengen area. Okay?
Right.
Cyprus is a member of the European Union, but currently, along with Ireland, are the only two European Union member states that are not part of the Schengen area. Cyprus is legally obligated to join Schengen, and the current president of Cyprus has declared many times that Cyprus will be joining Schengen soon. Okay, this is an important differentiation because we want to be clear from day one what Cyprus offers. Now, what you get a permit to come and live in Cyprus for as long as you want, for as many years, as many days a year you want, along with your spouse and your children up to the age of 25. All of your children that are holders of Cyprus permanent residency, they get to keep the residency even
Mhm.
after they pass the 25 mark.
Okay.
There's no requirement to live in Cyprus full time. The only requirement is to visit Cyprus once every 2 years. As we have mentioned, the investment is minimum 300,000 euros and
The-
can be
Yeah,
in
your
new
PPT is
residential.
not moving, eh? Are you moving or your PPT is not moving?
Sorry,
Your slides is not moving. You're not moving, or
now it's moving.
it's only on the first slides.
Oh, yeah, I have moved the slides. Wait a second. I will stop sharing and start again. Give me 1 sec. It's moving for me.
Okay, share it again. Okay, yeah,
What about now?
now it's
Yeah.
moving. Yeah, yeah.
All right. So You want me to start again, and you will do the?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Okay. So, permanent residency of Cyprus. Cyprus provides a permanent residency program, basically along the same lines with other European Union countries, Portugal, Malta, Greece, Spain, for that matter. I will not give information about Cyprus because we have already provided that. The program is under Regulation 6.2, which is an accelerated immigration permit route for third country nationals who make a qualifying investment in Cyprus of minimum 300,000 and meet other financial and compliance criteria. It's a permanent residency. It's not a short-term residency. Once you get it and you keep satisfying the investment criteria, then you keep it for life. It's also issued for your spouse and any children up to the age of 25 when applying. However, children, when they turn 26, 27, 28, they still get to keep the permanent residency, provided at the time of application they were under 25 and they satisfied the relevant requirements. There's no requirement to live in Cyprus permanently, full time. You're only required to visit Cyprus once every 2 years to keep the residency. Important distinction. It's not a residency. This is a residency permit. It's not a citizenship permit. It's also important to note here that at the moment, Cyprus, along with Ireland, they are the only two European Union members that are not part of the Schengen area. Cyprus is legally obligated to join the Schengen area, and the current president of Cyprus has declared that Cyprus will be joining soon. So expectations are within the next couple of years, Cyprus, if not 1 year, Cyprus will apply for Schengen area. Also note that if you hold a valid Schengen visa, Indian nationals that hold valid Schengen visa, there's no need to apply for a Cyprus visa, and you can enter Cyprus with your valid Schengen visa. What are the investment requirements? 300,000 euros in new residential properties. This is the most common and the most straightforward option that I believe that 95% of the applications were done through this route. You need to purchase one or two new houses or apartments, and this is the route most families follow. Other immovable properties that you can do the 300,000, commercial properties such as offices, shops, hotels, or similar developments, and then 300,000 euro investment in a Cyprus company that has real presence and employees. Main eligibility points. What are the requirements you need? You need to show that you, as main applicant, you have an annual income of 50,000 euros, which increases by 15,000 euros if your spouse is applying, and by 10,000 euros for each dependent child. You need to show that all the funds are coming from outside Cyprus. So basically, you cannot get a loan from a Cyprus bank. You need to show a clear criminal record for every applicant that is over 18. Once getting the permanent residency, you will be eligible to register to the national healthcare system, and you will have free healthcare system in Cyprus after you get your PR. Family members who are eligible: spouse, minor children under the age of 18, and any children between 18 to 25 that can show that they are studying and are financially dependent on their parents. These are the main requirements, which I believe are easy to satisfy. What you get with the permit and what you don't get. You get the right to reside in Cyprus. You get resident security for the family. You get the ability to rent out the qualifying property where permitted. You get a practical base for education, lifestyle, and regional mobility, that is Cyprus. And you have full accessibility to the national healthcare system. Eligible to apply also for Cyprus citizenship after 5 years. And you are eligible also to establish a business and be a shareholder of such with your permanent residency permit. It does not give you automatic Cyprus citizenship. At the moment, it does not give you Schengen travel rights. It will, though, once Cyprus joins Schengen. And this residency does not give you a general right to work as an employee in Cyprus. You can engage in economic activity in Cyprus, basically establish a business in Cyprus and be shareholder of that company, that business, but you cannot be an employee of any company in Cyprus. Process is simple. Initial contact. Before we proceed, we can provide a free of charge evaluation of the case. And if we feel that the applicant will not be successful for any matter, for any reason, we will mention that they will not proceed. If we feel that all is okay and we proceed, then we'll give the go ahead and we can proceed to stage 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, we will need at stage 1 the family profile, the income, and the probity strategy that you want to follow. We will then present investment options, review the contracts with any of the developers, make a reservation, and generally help and assist in the investment to be done in Cyprus. Prepare all the documents for the applicant's file, submit and follow up the documents with the immigration department, and once issued, provide the residency cards to the client. What I believe and what we believe in Cyprus may be the benefits for Indian families. Basically, it's a European Union country. It has all the benefits we mentioned before: education, lifestyle, access to the national healthcare system. You make an investment in property, which is a very safe investment at the moment in Cyprus with potential of good earnings. And it provides a bridge to business planning if at a later stage you want to establish a Cyprus company or do anything through Cyprus. Tax planning angle is what we discussed before. The same would apply with the information we gave before, so no need to repeat ourselves here. Next steps, if anyone is interested, then we'll be happy to hear your case and evaluate it and advise you accordingly. Any questions you may have, Prashant? I'll be happy to answer.
Yeah. So basically, this is like I'm buying a property of 300,000. It could be residential, commercials, or anything. I can start a business, but I cannot do the work for some company, or I'll continue doing my business abroad. So I can come and do that one as well. So it's like as good as like my retirement visa as well. I mean, it's right. It could be
It's a golden visa, as they call it in Greece, as they call it in Portugal, as they call it in Spain.
right. Yeah. Exactly.
The only issue with the Cyprus residency is that it at the moment it only applies for Cyprus.
Right.
On the other hand, if you compare it with Greece and Portugal and Spain, they have more value with regards to traveling rights. However, as soon as Cyprus joins Schengen, which is something that will happen in the next couple of years, then you will be able to compare the Cyprus residency with the residency of those other countries.
But I thought that I read somewhere that the date was like a June 2026 was the tentative.
That was the date that was initially mentioned by the Cyprus president. If you try and apply for a Cyprus visa, or any of the people that would be listening to this have tried to apply for a Cyprus visa in the past year, they will see that the requirements and the application process is on the same par as with the Schengen visa process. So this tells something that we're on the right track. Yeah. I mean, if you applied for a Cyprus, if you applied for a Cyprus visa like 2 years ago, it was a different process, an easier process. Now it's the same process that you follow with the Schengen visa.
Right, because if they don't keep that standards, then obviously it could be a hurdle to become a Schengen visa members.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. So the first part is with respect to the business, reading to the immigrations and the citizenship. This one is that if you want to come, it's your choice. If you want to come and stay.
We have a lot of, sorry to interrupt, you have a lot of international people that come and live in Cyprus. I mean, they have, let's say, income. deriving from investments. Okay,
Right.
even young people, they want to come and live here just for the lifestyle, easy life, small country, and especially taking their children to the schools of Cyprus, International School of Cyprus. Syllabuses are in the English language and are targeted for either the US, UK, or any other European Union schools. The level of tuition in the Cyprus international schools is very high at the moment. So there are a lot of international people that are coming to Cyprus just for this, provided they have the funds to support
Right.
themselves
Yeah.
along the way.
Honestly, it's not for
Yeah.
the working class.
No,
Or
no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah.
no, it's for the high. And also the most important aspect, which is making it again and again, I know you mentioned it about, is the English language, because a lot of people stop doing the Latvia or Greece or a Portugal because the language is an issue for them. Like once I go there, if I get my text written, it's all in Greek language. If I get my any communication from the government, it would be in a Greek language. Whereas in Cyprus, I'm safe that it's in English, and generally
Hmm.
English is not an issue for most of the international immigrants.
This is, I think, personal opinion is mostly uh, based on two factors. One is that we have been part of the UK until 1960, where we became
Right, yeah, yeah.
republic.
Just
So
like India.
yeah, we have a lot of influence coming from the UK, common law, the way you do business and all that. But mostly, I believe, is the fact that Cyprus has been accommodating foreign people, internationals living, working in Cyprus for many, many years. So basically, it's a multicultural community, international community. Everyone is welcome. I mean, if you go to Limassol or
Yeah,
Paphos, you will see that uh, happening. You have so many different nationalities living there and working from Cyprus.
right. Yeah. Good.
And everyone is expecting. I mean, when you come to, it's not like we're using the English language. Every international people that are coming to live in Cyprus and work in Cyprus, they're actually expecting that everyone will be talking in English
In English
everywhere
language.
they will go, bars, restaurants, everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was there, so I know that
Yeah, yeah,
totally.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we go to the
All
next
right,
one.
let's do the digital nomad one.
Yeah.
Are the slides okay now? It's on the screen, yeah?
Yeah. It's on
All right,
this.
so Cyprus digital nomad. Most probably people that are seeing this, they know what the digital nomad is. Uh, Digital nomad is people, employees or employers of a company that is registered abroad, or self-employed freelancers serving clients abroad. Basically, you can apply to come and live in Cyprus, provided that you can show that you're working remotely and you're making at least 3,500 euro per month after contribution and taxes.
So
The
net.
requirements are simple: nationality, non-EU, non-EEA national. Indian nationals fall within this category. The work model is you need to be an employee of a company registered abroad
Mhm.
or self-employed freelancers serving clients abroad. Income, as I've mentioned, stable and sufficient monthly net income of at least 3,500 euros after contributions and taxes, clear criminal record, and the documents you need to provide is employment contract, client evidence, bank evidence of your funds for the past year, and other supporting documents. What are the main benefits? With your initial application, you get 1 year initial temporary residency permit, which is renewable for another 2 years. Family, for the same permit period, all the members of your family, spouse, and children are also eligible to follow. However, if you compare it with the business immigration program that we discussed before, they don't have access to the employment market in Cyprus, the family members.
Yeah.
So the most important thing for the digital nomad is you need to show that your work and the money of your work comes outside of Cyprus.
Perfect.
So income requirement, 3,000 500 euros for the main applicant per month, plus 20% for the spouse, plus 50% for each child. So basically, if you are accommodating your spouse and your child, you need to adapt the numbers according to these percentages. You can come to Cyprus with a visa in Cyprus. There's no need to apply for the digital nomad before you come to Cyprus. You can come to Cyprus with a visitor visa. It's valid for 90 days. And then during that time, we can prepare all the documents and apply for your digital nomad visa. You need to give biometrics once approved. And the review usually takes 4 to 7 months. And the renewal will be done after 1 year. Best practice would be like what we discussed with the other programs. Contact us. We can give an initial free of charge evaluation and let you know if you will be successful or not. There's no need to come to Cyprus and then contact us. It's preferable that you contact us, or Prashant for that matter, before you come to Cyprus, in order to be sure that everything will be in the correct order. Now, this is where everything we discuss about tax planning comes into play, because for a lot of digital nomads, it's very, very, very beneficial if they become tax residents of Cyprus. And they can become tax residents of Cyprus either by the 183-day rule or the 60-day rule. The thresholds of taxing we've mentioned before, but it's very important, and most of the digital nomads that are currently working out of Cyprus, they take advantage of tax residency of Cyprus, as we discussed before. Basically, this is it. It's a simple program. I think it's the same program that is available in Greece. I think Malta has the same program. Portugal has the same program. There's the same requirement. Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, it will all come down to preference of country and culture, and then what the country has to offer. Right. Mind you, what I didn't mention about digital nomad is that there is a cap of 500 applications a year. However, even if that cap of 500 applications is reached and there are no spaces left, there is a same route that you can follow, the visitor route, whereby if you can show the same, if you can satisfy the same requirements as with digital nomad, you can also apply under that one.
Okay. So you come under the business route and then you can...
Yeah.
You can come. Right. Okay. Very good. So
but most importantly, for every program, what I would say is that
but I
any interested person should contact you directly, evaluate their case with you first, along with our help, and then decide to proceed and come to Cyprus. Even if they're registered in company, even if they are applying for residency, for permanent residency, foreign interest company, or digital nomad. Get advice first,